what you think about me, I don't care what you say about me. You're not in the position that I'm in to even be on the same level of me, you know? And I don't say reach. He got like a 60 something, you know? He's wider than me, but that's it. So I'm like, it match up. It matches up.
Their levels and they're stars and superstars. Okay, and they made the championship, not the championship made them. So it's way different, you know. Like I come and I do my career, and I fight with Coro and with the Klaus, and I fight with Mayweather with the Klaus, and I fight with everybody to build my Canelo Alvarez. I am right now. I can do whatever I want.
Right.
In a recent face-to-face interview with Canelo, Terence Crawford revealed that he's going all in for their upcoming historic fight. He's bringing everything to training camp and making sure no detail is overlooked, with a chance to become the first male boxer in the four-belt era to be undisputed in 3 different weight classes. Crawford knows exactly what's at stake and the tough challenge ahead. He's aware of the risks, but confident in his strengths, pointing to his speed, reach, and boxing IQ as the tools he'll use to figure out and defeat Canelo.
My career, I've been criticized, and people have taken credit away from me just to try to diminish my accomplishments, just off of pure hate. So what would they be able to say with me going up 2 weight classes? If Canelo become undisputed again and I beat Canelo, what could they say? They'll say something, but what
Crawford's confidence is well-earned thanks to his rare mix of technical skill and knockout power that has overwhelmed every opponent so far. Speaking about his physical edge, he said, "I feel I got the speed over Canelo, I got the reach over him. He might have the size and power, but I feel like I got better boxing skills. This isn't just talk. It's a carefully thought-out evaluation." Crawford's ability to switch stances and move smoothly between offense and defense makes him a unique challenge even for someone like Canelo. His versatility and high ring IQ have helped him dominate across weight classes from lightweight to welterweight, taking down champions along the way. His last fight against Errol Spence Jr. showed exactly that. Crawford delivered a masterclass in timing, distance, and power, proving why he's considered one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world.
And on his part, and then you get to see Canelo and see if he's able to maintain the 168-pound division. You know, he's been there for quite some time, and we've seen Canelo go up to 75 to fight Bivol. It didn't look too well for him, you know, but we'll see. I think it's a great matchup. Obviously, Canelo has to do his part in winning and collecting another belt to become undisputed once again in that weight class against William Skull. So it's a great matchup. I think that it's definitely eye-pleasing for the crowd.
Despite the big weight difference, Crawford isn't backing down. He addressed it directly, saying, "My arms are long, I'm strong. I even dare to say they underestimate my strength. It's true, we're fighting at his weight, and he knows it, but let's see if it's as easy as he thinks." These words get to the core of the challenge. While Canelo is known for his power and pressure, he's had trouble with fighters who use their reach well and stay sharp for all 12 rounds. Floyd Mayweather, who gave Canelo his only clear loss, did just that. Crawford sees his own path to victory through smart movement, sharp footwork, and making Canelo pay for every mistake.
Nations and a very strong fighter, you know, facing him off, he's actually the taller man. So I'm leaning towards Crawford now. You know, I switched my opinion. I think Canelo looked too slow, too flat-footed. You know, one punch at a time. You know, I don't think that's going to be enough for him to beat Crawford. Crawford's too fast, too strong, just too good.
Canelo, for his part, isn't taking this fight lightly. Fresh off a hard-fought 12-round decision win over William Skull to defend his undisputed title, he remains fully focused on what lies ahead. He's acknowledged just how big this bout is, saying, "Just look how much he's accomplished, and just look how much I accomplished." So imagine 2 fighters with those accomplishments. It's huge for Canelo. This fight is more than just another title defense. It's a chance to solidify his legacy by defeating one of the sport's all-time greats moving up to challenge him, possibly making it the most meaningful win of his career.
Do you think it'll add to your legacy, though, fight
Yeah,
Crawford?
glad. He's a really good fighter. 2 times undisputed champion. He accomplished so much. So can add a lot to my career.
Canelo's view that this fight could have an even greater impact than his 2013 bout with Mayweather holds weight back. Then he was an unbeaten rising star still developing his skills, and he was clearly outmatched by Mayweather's elite technique and defense. A loss he admits taught him valuable lessons. Now, more than 10 years later, Canelo is a fully evolved fighter with titles in 4 weight classes and wins over top names like Gennady Golovkin, Sergey Kovalev, and Callum Smith. He's more polished, more patient, and more dangerous, especially at super middleweight, where he feels most comfortable. Still, as Crawford pointed out, styles make fights, and no one has figured out how to beat Crawford yet.
You know, then I started sizing him up, and I'm like, all right, well, Canelo 5'7". You know, my arm's longer.
Yeah.
He's strong. I'm strong.
Right.
You know, it'd be, to me, skill for skill.
Right.
You know, because Canelo not the biggest 168 fighter. So I just started looking into it.
The mental battle in this matchup is just as compelling as the physical one. Crawford isn't stepping in just to survive against the bigger man. He's aiming to take control. His trainer, Bomac McIntyre, reinforced this mindset, saying, "I'm seeing the holes in his game, and I know how to attack him." This isn't just talk. It's a clear strategy focused on exposing Canelo's tendency to be flat-footed and rely heavily on power shots. Crawford's team is reportedly drilling movement, quick counters, and constant angles, all designed to throw off Canelo's rhythm. This sharp game plan, combined with Crawford's strong belief in himself, creates a real challenge for Canelo, who's used to dominating with pressure and power.
All right, I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line, this is the truth again, it's a money grab.
Crawford's camp is also making headlines with a possible new addition to his training team. Reports suggest he may bring in Israel Madrimov as a sparring partner, a move similar to what Dmitry Bivol did before his upset when over Canelo in 2022. Madrimov, known for his toughness, aggressive style, and high ring IQ, helped Bivol fine-tune his counters and footwork for that fight, which led to a clear unanimous decision victory. When asked about training with Crawford, Madrimov said, "Yes, because I need more practice for my next fight." If he's calling, no problem. This could be a key part of Crawford's preparation, giving him a sparring partner who can mimic Canelo's pressure and test Crawford's ability to adjust in real time.
You to help him for Canelo, would you? Если Canelo тебя попросит помочь в спаррингах, ты согласишься?
Yes, yeah, because I needed more practice for my next fight. If he's calm, no problem.
Do you think Terence can beat Canelo?
If 12 rounds, maybe yes, because very technical.
Even as he prepares to step into the lion's den at 168 pounds, Crawford doesn't appear shaken by the physical challenge ahead. He's closely studied Canelo's recent outings, including the tough 12-round fight against Skull, where Canelo struggled to land clean shots. Out of 152 punches thrown, only 56 connected, a stat that seems to boost Crawford's confidence. He pointed out, Skull moved a lot. He neutralized Canelo's power punches while he was boxing well, and then he stopped. This shows Crawford's plan clearly: keep moving, stay sharp, and drag Canelo into deep waters to test his stamina and composure as the rounds go on.
Utilizing Canelo power punches, he was just moving a lot.
Do you think that's a style you have to employ in points of the fight?
I don't know, because if you watch the styles that beat him, they didn't move a lot. You know, they moved a little bit, but not as much as William Skull.
There's a rumor going around this week that Manny Pacquiao is going to return. What do you make of that?
I don't know. We shall see. I don't know. All right.
Do you think he's too old at 46 to fight Barrios?
Not everyone is as confident as Crawford about the upcoming challenge. Amir Khan, who once faced Canelo at a catchweight, and was knocked out brutally, offered a blunt warning about the risks involved. Canelo is a beast, man. I fought both of those guys, and I feel that size always wins. Having weight divisions, there's a purpose behind that. He said while Khan acknowledged Crawford's talent, calling him special, he questioned whether it's wise to step up against someone with Canelo's power. Terence is special, don't get me wrong, but then there's getting hit by a guy like Canelo. Still, Crawford remains firm, embracing the risk and chasing what could be one of the most historic wins in boxing history.
Crawford and Canelo.
I don't think that should happen. Look, I like Crawford, and I think Canelo is a beast that way. Honestly, I would advise Crawford not to do that.
However, things aren't entirely smooth on Crawford's side. Either his trainer Brian Bomac McIntyre recently made waves by voicing concerns about possible biased judging in the upcoming fight with Canelo Alvarez. This goes beyond typical pre-fight talk about training or tactics. It's a pointed criticism of boxing's often questionable scoring in high-profile matches, especially when big-name fighters are involved. McIntyre's comments hint at a real fear that Crawford might not get a fair shake on the scorecards. This concern could play a big role in shaping the mindset of Crawford's team long before the first punch is even thrown.
It's a stylistic matchup, you know, and Williams Cole don't fight nothing like Terence Crawford. So we're not going to see the same type of fight come September. I think we're going to see a great fight, real good fight.
You and Terence have always had like a good relationship, but if he makes Canelo come off the titles, is he on your radar then in the division?
Yeah, I mean, all the top super middleweights are on my radar, you know. I want to face the best, and you know, a lot of fighters say that, but I don't feel like a lot of them have shown and proved that. I feel like I've shown and proved that. So
McIntyre raised this concern during an interview with Mill City Boxing, admitting, "This is the only thing that sometimes worries me. The name Canelo. Will we get a fair shake if the fight is close? Will we get the fair shake?" This statement carries weight, especially coming from a trainer known for his blunt and honest opinions. The message is clear. McIntyre fears that even if Crawford delivers a performance that deserves a win, the judging could still favor the more established, marketable Canelo, a fighter with a long track record of receiving favorable decisions in close contests.
You're going to stop Canelo Alvarez.
I don't got to stop him. I just got to beat him. I'm not going in there looking to knock Canelo out. Could it happen? Yes, absolutely. You know, when I look at Canelo, he's a smaller, bigger guy moving up in divisions. You know, being that these big guys is slower, so they might catch him with something, but he might see it at the last moment. You know, they might catch him with a...
This isn't the first time questionable judging has been a concern in a Canelo fight. His 2017 draw with Gennady Golovkin, for example, remains one of the most hotly debated decisions in recent boxing history. The infamous 118-110 scorecard from Judge Adelaide Bird sparked outrage and became a focal point for critics who argue that big-name fighters like Canelo tend to benefit from judges favoring aggression and star power over technical skill and ring control. McIntyre's comments are more than just a strategic move. They're a psychological tactic designed to keep the pressure on the judges to make fair calls, knowing that every round of this high-profile fight will be under intense scrutiny.
I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw Crawford the last fight and he don't move that much now. So
well, Canelo's the face of boxing. He's the best fighter for Terence Crawford out there. That's why Terence Crawford want to take the opportunity to share a ring with another great.
Crawford, you know, they weight class for a reason. In his mind, he think he can do whatever he wants because he's very talented.
I just hope that Crawford is not overdoing himself with the weight and he underestimates because he never got...
There's also another layer to McIntyre's strategy, one that speaks to the internal dynamics within Crawford's camp. His comments can be seen as a way to protect against potential backlash if Crawford doesn't win, by subtly planting the idea that the decision could be influenced by controversial scoring. In a way, Bomac is creating an insurance policy against the narrative of a clear loss. He's acknowledging the reality that many of Crawford's fans may not see a decision loss to a naturally bigger fighter as just a defeat, but rather as an instance of politics and favoritism affecting the outcome.
Well, they was something until Crawford fought him, so obviously he's doing a great job because he's making everybody look normal.
apparently no rehydration clause. Am I hearing that right? He wants full smoke at that weight.
Let's go, man. That's what Crawford wants. He wants to show the world that he's the best. So, hey, why put stipulations in there when you know that you can be the best? So.
It's an interesting approach, especially considering Crawford's own public confidence. The Nebraska native has consistently stated that his skills, reach, and boxing IQ will be enough to overcome Canelo's power and size advantages. This contrast in messaging within Team Crawford raises questions about whether McIntyre's concerns stem from a real fear of unfair treatment or if it's a calculated move to shape the post-fight narrative. No matter the result, given Crawford's reputation for his unshakable focus and mental toughness, he may not appreciate his trainer's apparent lack of full confidence in his ability to win without outside factors influencing the outcome.
Triple G on Bud's resume. There's no Trout on Bud's resume. There's no Daniel Jacobs on Bud's resume. Canelo is the one that's fought the elite level opposition. It's Canelo that fought Laura. There is no Laura on Bud's resume. There is no Laura on Bud's resume. Bud has never faced a multiple division champ. Bud has never faced a multiple division.
Beyond McIntyre's concerns, the event itself is facing some logistical hurdles despite the high-profile nature of the bout, which is expected to draw a massive crowd. UFC President Dana White, who has a hand in promoting the fight, has made it clear that he's not a fan of the proposed venue, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. White, known for his strong opinions and reluctance to hold UFC events in large open stadiums, reiterated his stance, saying, "Nothing will change my mind about a stadium show. I really like this town, and the energy in that place was awesome all night." That's the energy you get in an arena.
Seen the last decade? Yeah, ever. This is one of the biggest fights ever. And obviously I'm honored to be promoting, but yes, when they say we're promoting it, I'm doing the promotion, we're doing the production, the event ops, PR, I mean, everything to do with the fight, just like a UFC fight, while at the same time.
White's discomfort with the stadium setting goes beyond personal preference. It's about logistics and atmosphere. The UFC has always thrived on the intense, close-knit energy of arena fights, where the crowd's reactions can directly fuel the action inside the octagon. Translating that kind of energy into a massive stadium, even for a high-profile boxing match, is a major challenge. However, White has committed to making the experience inside Allegiant Stadium as impactful as possible. He acknowledged that this is a rare exception for a fight of this scale, saying, "Yeah, I hate it. I hate it. So, because I hate it so much, you know I'm going to have to try to figure out how to make it an incredible experience inside Allegiant Stadium." This shows he's ready to pull out all the stops to ensure the event is a success.
It's still the man.
Yes.
You know?
He's been for a long, long time.
And he jumps in there and he does it and he goes to work, and it's hard to stay at that level for a very long time. And Canelo's another guy. I mean, what's this guy clipping?
Frank Warren, another major figure in the boxing world, has also shared his thoughts, adding even more intrigue to the event. In a recent interview, Warren commented on Canelo's fight against William Skull, pointing out that the Mexican superstar appeared vulnerable at times. "You know, Skull was catching Canelo." Warren said he went on to explain that this makes Crawford's upcoming fight even more intriguing, noting that even a fighter of Canelo's caliber can be touched if his opponent maintains discipline and precision. Warren's remarks echo a common view among boxing insiders, that Canelo, despite his power and experience, can still be outboxed by a smart, sharp fighter who doesn't get drawn into a brawl.
Could give Canelo a real problem now. I think early on you could see, he's a mover, and he's obviously a very good boxer. I think to start with, when he's throwing his jab, it was falling short. They weren't emphatic punches, and I think as it slowed down, it was then connecting. He was catching him. It makes that Crawford fight, I think, more an intriguing fight. I always say a good big and beat a good little one, and he's got to give a lot of weight away, Crawford, but it could give Canelo a real problem now, because Canelo was getting...
Warren's observations are especially relevant when considering Crawford's style, which is known for his ability to switch stances and make the most of his reach. Crawford has the tools to replicate some of the success Skull had, but with better execution and finishing ability. If Crawford can lure Canelo into a tactical battle instead of a brawl, he has a real shot at neutralizing Canelo's power and securing a points victory. However, as Warren rightly points out, the weight difference will play a crucial role. He emphasized, "A good big will beat a good little." highlighting the physical challenges Crawford will have to overcome if he wants to make history.
They talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. You know, so let's.
Despite the challenges, anticipation for the fight keeps growing. Crawford, ever the focused competitor, has embraced the moment, saying, "Everything happens for a reason, and there's a reason why I'm here in September. I'll show the world what greatness looks like." On the other hand, Canelo has kept his message simple yet respectful, acknowledging Crawford's elite status, while firmly making it clear that he plans to defend his territory at 168 pounds.
And the biggest question to me, how will the 12-pound difference be for Terence Crawford? It's going to be his first fight at 168. For Canelo, this is the weight class that he always fights at, no problem. But I'm really curious on how Terence Crawford is going to be able to adjust to this, and if it's going to be...
In the end, this fight is shaping up to be more than just a clash of styles or a test of will. It's a referendum on the sport itself, with issues of judging, size, and promotional politics all in play for Crawford. It's a chance to claim an unprecedented third undisputed title in as many weight classes for Canelo. It's another opportunity to solidify his dominance and possibly silence those who still question his place among the all-time greats. But who do you think will come out on top? And do you believe BMAC is already setting the stage for a possible Crawford loss?